areas of your life, it can get to be a lot. So please do not worry. I'm not telling you this for sympathy or anything. I just kind of want to let you know where I'm at. But I'm here. And I know how much these videos help people to relax and sleep and to help you get through whatever you're going through. So I was okay enough to do this. So while I was on my little hiatus, I checked out the Britney Spears documentary, and because I did a video on her before that I'll link down below if you haven't seen it already, I figured I would comment on the documentary and kind of go over it, give my thoughts and opinions, and just chat a little bit with you guys about it, and have an open discussion in the comments. Of course, be kind. Britney Spears is dealing with a lot of mental health issues, and, you know, I feel for the girl. She's dealing with a lot, and when you're dealing with a lot, it makes it that much harder when you're getting hate comments online, and I can attest to that. So please be kind, so you don't get blocked. Alright, now just one more thing before we get into the video. Just wanted to mention that I do have a Patreon where I do extra ASMR videos every single month, 3 to 4. You are guaranteed, and it is only $5 to sign up. So when you sign up, you also gain access to all the other videos that I have posted in the last year over there. So we are a growing family there, and it's a nice tight-knit group, and I'm just extremely grateful for everybody over there and over here. So anywhere that you support me, I am grateful. And yeah, but let's go ahead and jump into tonight's video. I do have some notes down here, over here, that I'm going to be referencing. So if you see me looking down, that is why. I hope you do not mind. So the documentary went live a few days ago, and it kind of went over the conservatorship and what that entails, and what Britney's been going through, and the different details of it. And it started off kind of interviewing some people that are in her life. Her manager, old manager, that is also a very close family friend that has known Britney since she was a very young girl. They also interviewed a lawyer that she tried to retain, some other people that worked with her in the business, the music business. A lot of different people spoke on Britney's behalf that kind of had insight to everything going on behind the scenes. So I did make some notes on some things that I wanted to touch on that I thought were important pieces. One of the first things that I noticed was that one of Britney's, I think she was like a producer, she was a very important person in the working business with her, noted that, you know, when Britney was rising to fame, her parents didn't have a ton of money, but they knew Britney was going to be, you know, something big, traveling with her was the one who was supporting Britney, and that her father was not really in the picture. And it was kind of like that as she was growing up as well. He just wasn't super supportive. The lady who was speaking about this actually said that the only thing she remembered him ever saying about Britney's singing career was that his daughter was going to become insanely wealthy and she was going to buy him a boat. And she was very straight-faced as she was saying this, and she was like, that's pretty much all I have to say about him. And you could tell that she was just not a fan of the man. And I thought that that piece of information was super interesting, given the fact that her father was the one who filed for conservatorship, saying that Britney was unable to care for herself or make her own sound mind decisions. So, for somebody who isn't really in your life, and isn't very supportive, just kind of, strikes me as odd a bit. Then another thing that stuck out to me in the beginning of the documentary is that Britney was being interviewed by an older gentleman, and they were on stage. I think it's when she was like auditioning for the Mickey Mouse Club, and he asked her if she had a boyfriend, and like all of the questions were about either her looks or about this boyfriend thing. And Britney Spears had to be maybe 8 or 10 years old at the time. Like, I just thought it was a very inappropriate thing to ask. And the person who was being interviewed on Britney's behalf said the same thing, that out of all things you could have asked Britney, that's what you ask. It's like they really made it a point to point out that a lot of the times Britney got shafted. Like, people didn't focus on her talent of singing and really focused on, oh, she's dressing too provocative, oh, she's dating this one or this one. Like, they weren't really focusing on her talent or talking about her talent. And, when she was in interviews and stuff, it was mostly centered around just things that weren't the best things to be asking. I have a pillow behind my head if you're wondering what the hell that is. I'm trying to not get it in focus. Then to kind of add on to, a lot of comments about her sexuality and things of that nature, she was being interviewed on TV a while back, and it was right around the time that she really started to blow up and was doing, Baby One More Time and all of those things. And around the time she was dating Justin Timberlake, and this woman that was interviewing her said, Britney, you have upset a lot of mothers. And Britney was like, why? And she added that a lot of the mothers were upset of what Britney was wearing, and that she was like capitalizing on her sexuality, and that these moms were mad because their daughters were looking up to her and she wasn't dressing way they thought she should be dressing. And Britney pretty much said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, I'm not here to babysit your children. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be who I want to be, and just because I wear something that shows a little bit of cleavage doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Like, I don't know. And like they were saying at the time, it was about boy bands, and boy bands were like the thing. And nobody in the boy bands were getting attacked for, like, you know, ripping their shirts off on stage and like rubbing themselves and stuff. Like, it was always what Britney was doing. Britney was being too sexual. Britney was, you know, being provocative, things like that. And in particular, there was a mayor's wife, I forget her name, I'll put it on the screen. They played a clip of her saying that she literally wanted to like kill Britney Spears or like hit her with a bat, like something crazy, because she thought that she was giving off the wrong impression for her children. What? And the reporter told Britney this, and Britney was like, wow, like, I'm sorry she feels that way, but that's like a little excessive. And, you know, after Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake broke up, she was interviewed, and the interview person, you know, asked her how come Justin said, you know, you cheated on him and you broke his heart. What did you do? And they showed, you know, certain clips of Justin being interviewed, and Justin was asked if he slept with Britney, and pretty much said yes. And, you know, it showed a clip right before that of Britney saying she wanted to wait to lose her virginity till marriage. So it just, the media was really making her look bad any way they could. And Justin Timberlake actually just recently came out with an apology today to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson, for when they did the Super Bowl thing and he like ripped her shirt off and her titties were exposed. Boobs, excuse me. Breasts. I don't know what word is the best to say on YouTube. But he apologized to Janet. And he apologized to Britney for like exposing their sex life and kind of making her look bad. You know, he made an entire song, Cry Me a River, and he just was very public about the breakup and details about their sex life. And in one magazine he said, you know, at least I got into her panties or something like that. Just very distasteful things. And they grew up together, so it's like, you know, I don't know. The paparazzi that Britney attacked back when she shaved her head and kind of had that mental health break, or, you know, I don't want to make claims about what she had because I don't know the details of what happened, but back then when all those events were happening, she had shaved her head and kind of went after a paparazzi van with a bat. That paparazzi was interviewed in the documentary, and he noted that he said, and I quote, that Britney liked the attention, that she liked the paparazzi to be on her. And the reporter asked, you know, well, clearly something happened and she didn't like it because she wouldn't just come out of her car swinging bats at you if she liked it. And, you know, the reporter said, did she ever ask you to stop? And this man, the paparazzi guy, said, yeah, I think she did, but like, she meant it only for that day, not forever. Sir, Britney Spears looked at you and said, you know what? I want you to stop taking photos of me just for today. No, sir. So for him to just assume that spoke a lot to the character of who he is as a person. Just kind of making up excuses to make himself look better. And a journalist made a really good point. He said that, well, all of these things she was going through was happening. Nobody in the media, nobody checked to see how Britney was doing with her mental health. Everybody was just, looking to get the next photo. I guess the paparazzi said at that time a photo of Britney was going for $1 million for one photo. But he pretty much said that, nobody was checking in on her mental health and that everybody was capitalizing on her suffering, making money on her pain, which is just so incredibly disturbing. And I think a lot of that still goes on. It's like, I don't know. It's just so sad. It truly is so sad. And people wonder why. I don't know. It's just very disturbing. Very disturbing. January of '08 is the first time Britney went to the hospital for a psych eval against her will, and it ended up happening a second time where she was hospitalized for her mental health against her will. And that is when Jamie, her father, files for the conservatorship. And conservatorships are usually only filed for the elderly that can no longer make sound decisions. Only like 1% of conservatorships are for people under the age of 65. People close to the family noted that they thought it was weird that her father Jamie was the one to file for this, since he was never a huge part of her career or her childhood in general. People thought it was just very strange. So, at this time, Britney contacted a lawyer because, this was happening and she obviously didn't want to have her rights taken away. And the lawyer was interviewed, and the lawyer said at that time when he met with Britney that she was very capable of speaking for herself. She was very capable of holding a conversation, and, of hiring him. She was okay to do so. The lawyer said when they had the conversation, him and Britney, that she pretty much said she knew she wasn't getting around this conservatorship, but she pretty much knew that the judge was going to order it. But she told the lawyer that she did not want her father to be in charge of her medical care or her finances. When going to court for the first time with counsel, the judge told the lawyer, Britney's lawyer, that Britney was not in sound mind to obtain a lawyer. So pretty much, they go to court and they go in front of the judge, and the judge said, nope, I have a report here that I cannot share with you legally, but the information in this report that I have for Britney's mental health proves that she is not in sound mind to hire you, so she cannot obtain her own lawyer. I mean, this girl was stripped of everything. Can't spend her own money, can't have her own credit cards, can't have people that she wants in her home, can't conservatorship. If she's in sound mind enough to perform, why isn't she in sound mind enough to hire her own attorney? It just doesn't make sense, do you see? Like, am I wrong? I don't understand that. The lawyer notated that he did not agree with the judge's decision, and that when he met with Britney, she was totally capable of holding a conversation, and he believed was 100% capable of being able to hire her own attorney. The lawyer unfortunately was not able to see what was inside that report that made the judge's decision, but he said, we may never know, unfortunately. But currently, Britney is in court trying to win and get the conservatorship taken away from her father and get it put into somebody else's hands. And she currently, the judge said no to taking him off fully, but Britney did want a bank to be on it as well, and the judge did grant that. So at least she is getting somewhere, and the judge did note that he's not closing the door on the idea forever of taking her father off, but he just wasn't granting it at this time. So she's gonna keep fighting. And hopefully she wins. I do think she has some stuff going on that she definitely needs to treat. It, to me, is just a really sad situation. And I can't imagine being in her position. And, she does do some off-the-wall things. And like I said, I think she needs help. She needs to deal with the different things she's got going on, which is totally her business. But I think the stigma around and surrounding mental health is just terrible and so sad. We've gotten a little bit better in the years, but I don't know. It's just, it needs to get better. And people need to stop treating it as a weakness. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the documentary, and free Britney.